We got some breaking news into us tonight. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores accusing the NFL and its teams of racism in a new class action lawsuit. Flores, who's black, says the New York Giants put together a, quote, sham interview for their head coaching job. He also accuses Dolphins owner Stephen Ross of tampering and accuses Denver Broncos general manager John Elway of misconduct in a 2019 interview. NBC News, we should note, has not gotten any statements from these teams or the NFL about this lawsuit, at least not yet. I want to bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. And Danny, let me read from this class action complaint where Flores' lawyer says he wanted to, quote, shine a light on the racial injustices that take place inside the NFL and to effectuate real change for the future. The context is really important here because this is a league, Danny, that's about 70% black. And right now there's only one black head coach in the NFL after Flores' firing. There's no black owners. What stands out to you from the accusations that Flores is making here?
Oh, this complaint shines a light, all right, and not just on Flores' situation, but the history of alleged discrimination in the NFL. And everyone gets hit by the shrapnel, it seems. Bill Belichick has some cringeworthy moments or appearances in his text messages. So, too, are the allegations against John Elway. Not flattering at all. Nobody is safe in this complaint. It takes no prisoners and sets out a lengthy allegations of history of discrimination in the NFL.
You mentioned Bill Belichick. The only reason Flores says he knows about that he got passed over for this job is because Bill Belichick apparently texted him 3 days before Flores' interview, apparently put in the wrong Brian, right? Because basically congratulating, saying the job went to Brian Dable, who is white, who is not black. The texts are in the lawsuit, right? We should note Flores, by the way, is still looking for a job. He says he knows he's risking that in a statement, but wants to stand up for systemic racism in the NFL. What's interesting here is he says he was then forced to sit through an interview knowing he didn't get the job. And he claims, according to this lawsuit, that, you know, they were taking the Rooney Rule, which is this NFL rule that says you have to interview at least one diverse candidate for the head coach position, you know, to an extreme degree here.
That's right. And the Rooney Rule, the complaint says, has been not only ineffective, it's gone backwards. When the Rooney Rule was implemented, allegedly there were, I believe, 2 or 3 NFL head coaches. Now there is one. So as the complaint puts it, we've gone backwards, not forward. And, oh, the cringeworthiness of both Bill Belichick's text message where he accidentally got the wrong Brian and congratulated someone, and then the fact that allegedly this plaintiff sat through all those interviews knowing supposedly that the decision had already been made. But the key for him in this complaint is if he cannot show discriminatory intent, he's going to need to show enough of a discriminatory impact in order to make those allegations stick. Because the mere fact that there is an inequity does not necessarily lead to the conclusion legally that there is discrimination. So it's not a layup. It's not an easy. It's not a 1-yard field goal for this plaintiff. He's got to make and meet his burden.
Danny Cevallos, we appreciate the football analogy. Thank you. As I was talking to Danny, we actually got a statement from the New York Giants here. I want to read it to you related to this lawsuit, literally just into us, saying, quote, "We are pleased and confident with the process that resulted in the hiring of Brian Dable. We interviewed an impressive and diverse group of candidates. The fact of the matter is, Brian Flores was in the conversation to be our head coach until the 11th hour. Ultimately, we hired the individual we felt was most qualified to be our next head coach." This in from the Miami Dolphins. The team says they vehemently deny any allegations, and the implication that they acted in a manner inconsistent with the integrity of the game is incorrect. We're also hearing from the NFL League office. They're saying, quote, "Diversity is core to everything we do," and that they will defend these claims, which they say that are, quote, "without merit." I wanted to bring you that update.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.